Good garbage is what every single company out there in the world is doing to reduce their plastic waste. Small or large, to everyone in the world who isn't taking shortcuts to spend less money, every company out there that is being thoughtful when it comes to how they handle their waste, what you are doing is good garbage.
Hello. Welcome to the Good Garbage Podcast. My name is Ved Krishna. My primary reason for existence has been to find ways to leave our wonderful planet cleaner. We will be speaking with material innovators, creators, and propagators to learn from them how we can build for scale and towards a regenerative future. Their stories will help us answer the big question, what is good garbage?
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Good Garbage. I'm the producer of the show, Alex Moore. Today, we're going to do things a little bit differently. As our team reflected upon 2023 and looked forward to what 2024 has in store for us, we thought about how important collaboration has been through our podcast. We have had such a unique opportunity to interview and learn from new guests, and we do not take that for granted. But with that said, it seems like every hour there is news about so many amazing companies in this industry doing something new, something interesting and exciting. So we decided we wanted to highlight everyone we could. And so we talked about sending out a newsletter, but to be honest, I get about 100 newsletters in my email, and I wanted to make something you could listen to. We are a podcast, and maybe this is something you could listen to in the morning as you get ready for the day, maybe on a walk or at the gym or while making dinner. This is that podcast. I wanted something where we could check in with the world of packaging, where I will highlight everything happening in this industry. And don't worry, you'll still get to hear Vade. You'll still get to hear interviews with great guests, intelligent guests, people who are doing amazing things in this world. But if you're at all interested in the amazing companies around the world that are making a splash when it comes to funding, products, or any other headline stories, this is the podcast to listen to. We'll also be a stop for information regarding regulations and policies, as so many countries are making big steps in plastic, recycling, and composting in 2024. But enough talk. It's the first episode of Good Garbage News. Let's go around the world of packaging. We start today with Novelex. They've announced today that two of its brands, Eco Products and Vegware, have earned coveted awards for their innovative solutions in compostable packaging. Eco Products and Vegware were each honored with the Food Service Packaging Award for Innovation in Manufacturing, tying for first place. Eco Products earned the award for making high-quality digital print a reality on molded fiber packaging. Vegware was recognized for creating a compostable paper cutlery solution for markets that need fiber solutions across all packaging categories. We are extraordinarily proud of our brands for their tireless commitment to innovation, creating new products that redefine excellence as we lead the way to a more sustainable future, said Adrienne Tipton, Chief Technology Officer of Novelex. As this is our first episode, I'm going to touch on some headlines from the end of 2023 as well, including TIPA, who has introduced a fully compostable and recyclable tray crafted from waste product of rice. Not only can the trays be disposed of in compost bins in homes due to the rare makeup of pulp, they can be disposed of in recycling bins too, alongside paper. The trays not only prevent air pollution caused by burning agricultural waste, but they also offer an eco-conscious alternative to conventional plastic packaging. A University of Sheffield bioplastic spin-out has raised €2 million in funding to develop plastic alternatives made from plants. Floreon, which is now based in Hull, England, says its bioplastics offer a comparable performance to widely used polymers and can significantly reduce carbon emissions associated with oil-based alternatives. Neighbourhood Coffee Company, a women-led Toronto-based producer of coffee, has announced the launch of its fully compostable single-serve coffee pod, the first of its kind in Canada. Crafted entirely with plant-based materials, Neighbourhood Coffee's biodegradable pods are compatible with all Keurig single-serve coffee machine models. Karen Hales, co-founder and CEO of Neighbourhood Coffee, said, "With sustainability always top of mind at Neighbourhood Coffee, we're charting a green path forward and are thrilled to be the first roaster in Canada to offer 100% biodegradable coffee pods that break down in a matter of weeks versus the 100 of years required for plastic capsules." This is a proud milestone for our small local business. By making our small batch premium coffee available in compostable K-Cups, we are marrying innovation with sustainability while still delivering the vibrant micro-roasted flavors Neighbourhood Coffee is known for.
The Good Garbage podcast has been brought to you by TIPA. TIPA has been creating solutions in the food packaging, carry, and service space. TIPA utilizes sugarcane residue and upcycles it into amazing products. Their latest offering is a compostable, flexible packaging solution for the chocolate and confectionery industry. The products are available in the Indian subcontinent and in North America now. TIPA is also building an end-to-end solutions for customers in the food service and delivery space. For any query, do email at connect@pakka.com, and Pakka is Pakka. Now, back to the show.
Boston-based venture firm Material Impact has announced Material Impact Fund 3, a $352 million fund to back inception stage companies developing products enabled by innovations in material science. The firm, which has $800 million in assets under management and 30 portfolio companies, has teamed up with new and existing LPs, including university endowments, foundations, and family offices for Fund 3. From tackling the consequences of extreme weather, supply chain vulnerabilities, increased demand on our energy and transportation infrastructure, or the globe's shrinking clean water supply, Fund 3 will support the building of companies solving these problems, says Material Impact. In a post on the firm's website announcing the new fund, co-founders Adam Sharkawy and Carmichael Roberts explain, you can trace almost any major disruptive innovation in any market or industry back to an underlying innovation in material science. The EU Council has reached an agreement on a proposal for a regulation on packaging and packaging waste. The aim is to tackle the increase in packaging waste generated in the EU while harmonizing the internal market for packaging and boosting the circular economy. 190 kilos of packaging waste was generated by each European in 2021, and this figure will grow by nearly 20% in 2030 if things stay the same. This approach gives a message that the EU is committed to reducing and preventing packaging waste from all sources. The proposal considers the full life cycle of packaging. It establishes requirements to ensure that packaging is safe and sustainable by requiring that all packaging is recyclable and that the presence of substances of concern is minimized. It also sets labeling requirements to improve consumer information. In line with the waste hierarchy, the proposal aims to minimize the generation of packaging waste by setting binding reuse targets, restricting certain types of single-use packaging, and requiring economic operators to minimize the packaging used. Once the packaging becomes waste, the proposal aims to ensure that packaging is collected, sorted, and recycled to the highest possible standard. To this end, it sets criteria for the extended producer responsibility schemes and lays down provisions on waste management while ensuring that member states have sufficient flexibility to maintain existing well-functioning systems. I want to conclude today's episode with a conversation about COP28. The UN Climate Change Conference in Dubai was the biggest in the world, and I was lucky enough to go. Now, I went open-minded and ready to learn, but 10 days later, I went home with mixed emotions. I had a lot of doubt about the future of our world. There were moments when I thought, does anyone know what to do about climate change? That's not exactly how you want to feel after going to the world's biggest climate conference, but I had these feelings for obvious reasons. One, there was so much made about the obvious circus that was happening in Dubai and the UAE. Rumors of oil deals being made were headlines during the world's biggest climate conference. Everything felt heightened. There were so many smart, talented people there who knew how capable we were of making change. Well, it just felt like the overarching news created a negative thought process of what was actually possible through this event. Just look at any comments on the internet, for example. And I know people behind a keyboard can be and usually are negative. But I saw so many people saying anyone who doesn't care about the earth or our future won't go to this conference. And I can't disagree with that notion more. Gathering all the people in the world together to solve our climate crisis can create so much change. Refusing these events because of these negative headlines does the opposite. We need to gather and figure this out. So even with my mixed feelings of negativity, I want to take this time to highlight the positive, the good takeaways from COP28. COP28 had so many young people. Everywhere I looked, there were groups of students, there were classes. I went to speaking events where young people were up there talking, telling their stories, and it just wasn't only young people. It was a lot of groups that often don't get a seat at the table, that were getting a chance to talk about the global south, about people who aren't often represented in these conversations. It was really exciting to see what they all had to say and kind of the issues that face them in their worlds. COP did an excellent job of making sure people were represented, making sure groups were represented. It was very exciting to see. This was also the first COP to have a food day. And obviously that excited me as the producer for Good Garbage. But just seeing exactly how food was represented through this conference, and even bigger than that, biomimicry and nature-based solutions were all around me. They kind of bled into the whole conference. It wasn't just one food day or one speaking event that I went to. It was everywhere. Nature-based solutions were all around. And it was exciting to see countries agreeing to put more money behind pledges to cut back methane pollution and, other things that were really being done to make a difference. But I truly feel the impact of nature-based solutions, the impact of biomimicry, and the impact of this food day was seen throughout the whole conference. And I hope that continues to grow as we head towards COP29 later this year. And, I always try to look at the positives, and I obviously feel so lucky that I was able to attend such a conference like COP28. I learned a lot, and I hope, like I said, later this year, I'll be back at COP29 pushing for greater and more change than ever before. Thank you for listening to the first edition of Good Garbage News as we went around the world of packaging. If you want more information on any of the companies I talked about, I will link them in the description. We end every episode with the same question here at Good Garbage, and it is, what does good garbage mean to you? Today won't be any different. To me, good garbage is what every single company out there in the world is doing to reduce their plastic waste. Small or large, to everyone in the world who isn't taking shortcuts to spend less money, every company out there that is being thoughtful when it comes to how they handle their waste, what you are doing is good garbage. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to you next month with more exciting news in the world of leaving the planet cleaner.
Thank you for listening to the Good Garbage podcast. Follow us on social media to never miss an episode. Links are in the description below. I'm your host, Ved Krishna. See you next time.